I saw this and I thought it was very, very interesting, and I wish that it was Xbox too, but it's only PlayStation, and so yeah, definitely worthwhile doing a video for. At the end of the day, man, this was like a huge point of contention for some friends of mine recently, and I'm sure you guys might have an interesting take on it as well. Could be worthwhile. That's why I wanted to get into the video. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, I'm Crap Gamer, and this is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Please smash that like button and maybe consider subscribing, as that would be very helpful, and I would certainly appreciate any other subscribers or likes that you guys could give. It'd be pretty damn awesome. Now, again, this, like I said, was a point of contention recently, and so I wanted to do a video on it because I thought it would be interesting, because Call of Duty's file size is about to be drastically released on the PS5 with a new update. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. I'm looking, it doesn't say anything about Xbox, and this isn't like a PlayStation site where I'm reading this from. I will link this so you guys can check it out, but this is pretty damn cool. The official Call of Duty headquarters app will see a drastic decrease in size on the PlayStation 5 following the release of a new update. Call of Duty players who play on PlayStation 4 will also see a significant reduction in overall file size, but not quite as hefty as those on the newer generation of console. Call of Duty's gigantic size has been a controversial topic for a few years now. While Activision has attempted to justify the massive file size for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone in the past, fans were shocked to find that the upcoming Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will have a whopping 300 gigabyte storage requirement. Thankfully, Activision claims that this is not just the size of Black Ops 6, but rather the overall size of multiple Call of Duty titles in the Call of Duty HQ app. As revealed by PlayStation Game Size on Twitter, the update for Call of Duty Headquarters app will see a massive files reduction on the PS5 once Activision releases update 01.049. PlayStation 5 users will see the overall install size of Call of Duty reduced by over 100 gigabytes. So it's not just some small, minuscule amount, but over 100 gigabytes. Currently, the overall file size for Call of Duty HQ app comes in at 174.95 on PlayStation 5, but once the upcoming app is released, the file size will shrink to just 73 gigs on current gen console. Now, I want to say this because I don't play Call of Duty on PlayStation 5, but I recently installed Modern Warfare 3. I was trying to talk some of my friends into it on Xbox, right? And we thought, hey, it's on Game Pass. It's everybody should play. Maybe we'll just hop on and play it, have some fun or whatever. And then you see that it was like 200 and some gigs on Xbox to download, and that puts some people out, especially if you're on a Series S, right? Those things only have 400 and something gigs of usable storage anyway. You're taking up half of that for for this one game. People aren't willing to do that. So it's like, even though Call of Duty is in Game Pass, people aren't going to just drop everything and go, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and play this game, and it's going to be amazing, or whatever. It could be the most amazing game, but I literally have trouble talking people into downloading it, for the simple fact that it's such a huge install size. It's crazy. So this is really good news for Sony. Like I said, haven't found anything on this for Xbox, so I don't know. Again, 73 gigs. That's incredible in my opinion. It's going to be crazy. But anyway, this update doesn't have a confirmed release date just yet, but both PS4 and PS5 users can look forward to a drastic reduction in file size, while the current gen console will now see over 100 gigabyte of space return to their hard drive. PlayStation 4 users will also see the game size reduced from 82.7 gigs to 67 gigs, freeing up a little over 15 gigs of space. However, the file size on all platforms is likely to increase once again later this month as Activision gears up for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 open beta. The next entry in the Call of Duty series is still a few months away, but fans were recently given their best look yet at massive leaks for Black Ops 6 occurred over this past week. From new multiplayer maps and UI changes to a brand new Warzone maps, the leaks actually revealed plenty of new information about Treyarch Studios' next Black Ops game. So yeah, that's very interesting to kind of say the least. If you're on PS5 or whatever, being able to go out there and save 100 gigs of space, I think that's pretty incredible. Like, one of the things, like, I love the Xbox Series X, but clearly one of the things that Microsoft did wrong was they kind of set themselves up in such a way where you had to use proprietary storage, right? Where you're just buying, and it can be expensive, trust me. But on the PlayStation side, you can buy, third-party storage, and you can install it yourself. I think probably Microsoft figured that, people wouldn't want to do that, wouldn't want to use a screwdriver to open up their console or whatever. And I certainly get that aspect of it. I'm not one of those people. I'm not a PC gamer. I hate PC gaming. So for me, kind of looking at things kind of the way that they are, I would rather not mess with that stuff, but it was super easy to put that in the way that they had it set up. It wasn't like you had to do anything special or anything, but like I said, it's very interesting because now where we look at this and we see, people have to pay, if you wanted that 2 gigabytes of storage on Xbox, it's hundreds of dollars, where if you want the 2 gigabytes on PlayStation 5, you can pick that up for like $70 or whatever. It's quite a bit cheaper, and and still faster on on the PlayStation 5 side of things. So there is that, and where we kind of look at things happening in the future. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but what I do know is that Sony has set themselves up pretty well with their solid state drive. So again, very much in a prime position there for the future, while Microsoft, they have a fast solid state drive as well, but obviously being proprietary, clearly not ideal as some people would have wanted to see that be. But anyway, very interesting given the sheer amount of content that's released for Call of Duty. With each new update, it's unlikely that the game size will remain under 100 gigabyte threshold, especially for those who want all aspects of the series installed, such as multiplayer, Warzone, zombies, and the game campaign. But the likely temporary drastic decrease in file size on PS5 is certainly welcome. So yeah, like I said, very cool thing to see that happen. And again, it's a little bit weird that seems to be, I can't find anything on this for Xbox, so it might just be a PlayStation thing, but maybe it could be an Xbox thing too. I don't know. I think they both have like separate type situations where they can reduce file size based on the technology or whatever. But I would love to see something like this happen on Xbox as well, like I said, because the file size seems to be, if this is accurate, even bigger on Xbox, and it's very difficult to get people to want to install this stuff to play on Xbox. Like, people are like, well, yeah, I'm like, hey, people that I used to play Call of Duty with all the time, I'm like, hey, it's on Game Pass now, you don't gotta buy it, you can just download it off Game Pass. And then they're like, well, you're gonna buy me a disc expansion, it's a lot of space, I got too many games, blah blah blah. So it's like, if it isn't one thing, it seems like it's another with this kind of stuff. But hopefully we see some kind of change happen before too long. I would love to see this to be an even smaller install, but who knows for sure. I'm sure people think all kinds of crazy things, but at the end of the day, it could mean anything for the future. We'll see how it works out. Like I said, Sony seems to always be on top of stuff like this, and at the end of the day, it realistically comes down to whether or not Microsoft can get something like this going as well. I would like to see that, but again, I'm not holding my breath. But just nice to see that Sony can go out there and make things a little bit easier for their fans. It's like, man, you would think Microsoft would be on top of this stuff, and maybe they are, right? But they're the ones that are offering like Call of Duty in, Call of Duty inside Game Pass, right? So you'd think they'd want to do everything they could to make sure that this stuff is fully, okay. Like, to me, okay, here's it in Game Pass, great, but you got to spend, $200 on a expansion to be able to download the damn thing. So, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose, just in my opinion anyway. So this is definitely a positive situation for PlayStation, and an advantageous one as well. So thanks for watching. Like I said earlier, like the video, subscribe, rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.